Hey everybody, this is Darkside Elite here, and I got a few little news stories I wanted to talk about and give you guys my opinion about what eventually happened. Um, I got a couple of clips here and also got some news. Now, one of the things, there are three things that's been going on. One about J.J. Abrams, the other one is about the whole Batman situation, and the other one is about the Flash. Now, I know you guys heard about it. It's all over the news about Pattinson and the Batman delay, and also what's going on with the Flash. And I'll give you guys my opinion. Now, the one about J.J. Abrams and what's going on with Superman is I'm going to talk about it and what I think is going on. Okay, and also what I do not want for the Superman. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's talk about J.J. Abrams and Superman. Now, a lot of people are on board with this. They feel that J.J. Abrams is a really great director. I'm not disputing that. They think that he has a really good, keen mind. I'm not disputing that either. Here's the problem, and I've said this in the last video. I think that J.J. Abrams is a really great director, but he's the worst type of director for Superman. And here's the reasons why. One, all he's going to do is rehash Richard Donner's Superman, and that's going to make a lot of fans pissed off. One of the biggest things about Superman Returns that did not get a lot of accreditation is the fact that all they did was rehash every trope in Richard Donner's Superman. They could not evolve the character. The storyline was flat. There was no action, and it was a very predictable set of circumstances. And when Zack Snyder came along, he basically he threw a huge wrench into the whole what everyone's conceptions of Superman is, and everyone could not get over it ever since. And this has come from somebody that respects Superman but didn't like the character. Okay, I have a huge amount of respect for Superman. He's the first superhero in all of literature, and I say again, yes, I call comic books literature. You read it and you get some type of moral story out of it. That's the whole purpose. It's a fable. All right. So my my understanding is that um, he wrote a story. He wrote a comic book with Superman in it, and it didn't. It had a terrible story. It was terrible. It had a very pitiful plot point, and all he did was rehash Richard Donner's Superman, and that's my problem. Look at okay. It goes back to what I said about Star Wars. The guy did a really good job with Force Awakens, but the story made absolutely no sense. There was a lot of things in there that made absolutely no sense. And it made no sense to the characters, but he was building something and they could have easily put in a lot of storylines from the extended universe, or they could have went back to the drawing board with a lot of them, and give us an understanding about why they went from Y and they went back to when they went from X to Y. That would have been perfectly fine. Now the problem with J.J. Abrams, he's a rehash director. He rehashes a lot of stuff. The only time I've seen his original movie idea was Super 9, I believe, and also the first Star Trek movie. The reboot Star Trek movie was original. That felt it was very very good. I still love that movie to today, and I'll shake his hand over it. I think he did a really good job with it. But let's not ignore the fact that all he did was rehash the Wrath of Khan. He did the Force Awakens, which was actually a rehash of A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. Um, and everyone's biggest thing is what he's going to do for episode 9. Now, that's my big thing. We're giving a franchise, one of the most lucrative franchises, to a rehash artist. We're giving Superman, a character that all of us want to see on the big screen again. We want to see him done. We want him to see done very well. And also, I don't want to see another Richard Donner Superman, because even Richard Donner saying, "Dude, do something different. Do something different." This is coming from Richard Donner himself. The only way this character is going to survive the next generation is unless you redo something. You have to redo, you have to give something different. You cannot rehash someone else's work. It's just going to be so muddled and people are going to not going to like it over the time. It's one of the biggest core reasons why his character was not popular from 1970s to the 19 through the 1990s. Hence why they killed him. They killed him because his comic books were failing, and they felt that there was no way they can actually reboot him. They can't reboot him. They don't want to change what Siegel and Schuster created, and they don't want to change him to a point where he's unrecognizable. They didn't find a way to do it, so they said, okay, let's just kill him, and it made news. His death made news. It made like CNN, C-SPAN level news. It was the biggest news that they were going to kill off Superman in all of comics. The next one was the death of Captain America. That made huge levels of news. So that's my biggest problem with this. I don't want J.J. Abrams anywhere near Superman. Okay, I don't want him anywhere near it because there is a strong root with him being with having a Richard Donner feel, and he's going to give us a Richard Donner Superman told in a modern day setting, but his character is going to be so goofy and so by the book, and you can easily see what he's going to do with it, that it's not going to feel natural. It's not going to feel original. It's going to feel like we're just watching Richard Donner Superman again. Why would I want to see that? I got the 1977 version. I got the movie. I got the sequel. I don't need that version. I personally want someone to do something different with his character. I personally do. That's just me. And I think a lot of other people are going to feel the same way. I hope you guys feel the same way. Why would you want to watch the same thing all over again? Just told on a different rapper. We're basically J.J. Abrams is going to marvelize this character. He's going to marvelize Superman. And I don't mean he's going to write him the same exact way. What I'm saying is it's going to be the same Richard Donner Superman told in a different rapper. I don't want that. I want something that's going to shake the character up. I want something that's going to make him feel completely different. But still, the core values of Superman are going to be there. And Zack Snyder was building towards that. He was building towards that. He even stated it. The only way to revitalize a character is you have to take him down to the ground level and build him up slowly. And that's what he was doing. He was going to give us that version of Superman, and we were robbed. If you felt that it was poorly done in the first movie, you only got a third of the story. If you feel he was poorly done in Man of Steel and in Batman v Superman, you only got 2/3 of the story. And you can't say Justice League because that's not Zack Snyder's story. They rewrote the whole thing to give you exactly what I'm fearing that J.J. Abrams is going to do. A hunky-dory Superman that basically just goes, well, I can do this. And he's going to fly off and do whatever the heck he wants. And we're all just going to sit there and laugh laugh at the character, not laugh with the character. We're not going to be admired by the values that he sets because he's going to tell us a superficial story. We all know that he was picked on in high school. We all know that he was picked on. No, we don't. Give us that. Give us the emotional turmoil that Clark goes through by having all these great powers, able to lift a freaking truck over his head, but he has to allow himself to get his butt kicked by a freaking regular human every single day of the week. And we could see when he stands up to Zod that he wants to punch Zod's head off. And we're going, yeah, he wants to do it. But how are we going to get that if we just see him just go, okay, and he walks off to the next day? And we're just seeing more of his modern. No, come on. That's the reason why, to me, Man of Steel worked. We got the understanding of how he was as a kid, the turmoils that he went through as a kid, and everything that led up to him becoming Superman and donning the suit. That's the problem I have with J.J. Abrams. And I don't know. Again, this is my gut feeling. He rehashed everything. We have to see how episode 9 is. And it's already sounded like to be a train wreck. They had to have George Lucas come in to help. If J.J. Abrams is this great writer and a director, why the heck do they need George Lucas? That tells me something. That's a red flag. That is a huge red flag. He's the one that they wanted to come in and do this movie, and he can't tell the story. He cannot finish off this story. That's not good. That's red flags for all of us. If you want Henry Cavill to play this character, and he's already in his own personal view, he's 0 for 3. He's 0 for 3. While we're sitting there saying, no, you're 2 for 3, bro. I'm saying he's 2 for 3. Some people are saying, no, he's 2 for 3 also. He's a phenomenal Superman. And now you're giving it to the hands of a guy who cannot even finish off the story, finish off the arc that he presented to Kathleen Kennedy. He presented this arc for Ray, Poe, Finn, and all these characters. And yes, Ryan Johnson came in and he completely threw everything in the kitchen sink to wrench this whole story up. But J.J. Abrams should be able to easily fix it. Go back to what he was originally going to do. That's it. You don't have to ignore episode 9, but just take the stuff and just course correct it. And he couldn't do it. He had to bring in Palpatine. That was his idea. Colin Favreau said that Colin Favreau, who was supposed to be the original director and writer for episode 9, and this is told by him. Palpatine was not part of the original script. So we were supposed to most likely have Snoke and Kylo Ren. Maybe Ben. We don't know. So we have to wait until episode 9 comes out. And I'm fearing for this. I'm very, very, very afraid to have J.J. Abrams anywhere near Superman. That's why I say he's better with Green Lantern. Give him the Green Lanterns. Whatever he does is that's his ideas. That's his fresh ideas. But Superman, there's a concept with his character. And we all want to see Henry Cavill play this character very well. But I don't want to see a rehash of Richard Donner's Superman. I don't. I personally don't. Okay, I'm sorry for that rant, but that's how I feel about this whole situation with J.J. Abrams going anywhere near Superman. Because if episode 9 is a complete train wreck and they brought in George Lucas to help, that's not good. That's not good at all. Now, this is the only picture I can find. Okay, here's the news that we're hearing. One, the news that we're hearing is that Batman has been delayed, mainly because Pattinson is not bulking up. How the hell? Are you kidding me? You're telling me this kid cannot bulk himself up? That's stupid. That's a red flag. That's a huge red flag. If this guy cannot bulk up, that is sad. He's a pretty muscular kid. I mean, you can look at him. This is from Twilight. This is when he was more like a stick. And you're telling me this kid can basically eat, hot dogs, hamburgers, steaks, eat as much protein as he can, and then go to the gym and just start working out? He can't do that. Are you out of your mind? I mean, come on, dude. That's a red flag to me. I'm not a huge red flag like J.J. Abrams, but it's a red flag. This is oh boy. Because the moment he got that role, he should have been bulking up. He should have been going to the gym. He should have been doing this, doing this. He should have been now doing nowhere near as many press conferences about his other movies. He should do a good few of them, but he should be in the gym, pumping. This kid should be huge. He should have had already like 5 to 7 pounds already by this time of muscle. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this, and anybody should be too. I don't care about it. I don't care. I don't care. I'm past the whole thing that he's Batman, but if he can't bulk up, that's not good. And I don't know how big he wants to get. I don't know how big Matt Reeves wants him to be in the Batman shape. What is Batman shape to him? Does he want to add another 20 pounds? Yeah, I'll be good with that. 20 pounds of muscle, that to his frame, that's perfectly fine. Let's say he's around $160. That's 180, and he's like over 6 foot. I mean, if he's trying to get him around 180 to 190, that's great. And that's muscle. That's good because that's close to where Bruce Wayne's supposed to be at. He's supposed to be around 200 pounds of muscle because he's like 6'2", 6'3". So it really depends. So I don't know. I'm past the fact that we got Twilight Princess, as Batman. Everyone's like, oh, he's just great actor. I don't care. He doesn't look like Bruce Wayne. He looks like Nightwing. He's a babyface. He doesn't look rough. He doesn't look gruff enough. That's to me. He doesn't look like he's gruff enough. But I mean, we have to see. We have to see how Matt Reeves does this. There's a lot of casting calls in this. I'm very very scared of. I'm very nervous. I feel that this is a pandering movie. I do. I feel this movie's gonna pander to POCs everywhere, and I think that is the worst thing to do. We have to see. We have to see. I will give it a chance. This is my second favorite character of all time. This is my favorite. This is my second favorite superhero of all time, and I do not want to screw it up. I got on the bandwagon about Ben Affleck, and he changed my mind because he got himself in massive shape. He loves the character, and this is not good. If Robert Pattinson cannot get bulked up, I'm not saying that this has been confirmed. This is what's going out as news. Um, I would say take it as a grain of salt, but if he can't bulk up, and he's talking about that he doesn't want his Batman to be regarded as a hero. I'm like, what? Batman is a hero. He is a hero. He's just a vigilante. That doesn't mean that he's not a hero. He just works outside the law. That's the same as a freaking detective. As a private detective, he works outside of the law. He doesn't work within the law. He could do what the heck he wants. He doesn't have a badge to do anything. He can break into people's houses. He can do whatever he wants. He can do surveillance equipment, invade privacy. Do what the hell? He's the same as a private detective. So what the heck? He's getting paid for it though. Batman is not getting paid for it. So what the heck is he talking about? Batman is risking his life to save a city that his family, his mother and father died for to protect and make it a better city. He is a hero. The type of things he's doing cannot be regarded as being a hero because he's working outside the law. And we all understand that. That's a no duh. But that's Batman. That's what he's supposed to do. He works outside the law because the police cannot be able to do certain things. They have to go through the red tape. Batman goes past the law to actually get them the evidence that they need and to make the case. That's all he does. He's like a private detective. Oh God, red flags. These are red flags for me. But I'm gonna give it a chance. We gotta from a casting perspective, he has a solid cast. He has a really solid cast. But I just don't like it. I personally don't like it very much. But it's fine. I will give it a chance. I will give it a chance. I want to be in there. Um, I want to be proven wrong with the trailer. If the trailer looks very good, it feels dark, it feels scary, it feels like Batman is a feared character. And the other thing is his, from what the accounts are saying, is his suit's gonna be blue and gray. So we're gonna go back to 1977 Batman. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Whoa, go back. 1950s Batman. 1950s Batman. That bright blue, that bright blue and gray suit. Now Ben Affleck's, it had a blue hue to it, but it was mostly dark gray and a blue hue. So I don't know. We got to see the suit. But if that suit looks like 1950s Batman, I am going to be all over this YouTube ranting about that. That is the dumbest thing. How in the hell is he going to be able to merge into the shadows to not be seen? You could see a blue figure a blue and a light gray figure walking around the rafters. You're like, hey, what the hell is that? It's Batman. It's the Bat. Come on, man, that is stupid. We're gonna make them so they can't see. I mean that they're so blinded that they're not gonna be able to see him, even though they can look up in the rafters and see a figure in a bright blue costume, a baby blue costume, walking around in the rafters quietly. They're gonna be like, "What the heck is that? Hey, it's the Bat!" Nah, man, no, this is stupid. So I'm hoping that they do more technology to show that he can merge into the shadows a little bit easier, even though he's in that type of a suit. And maybe he designs the suit later on, so it actually is better again for shadow merging. I guess. I mean, come on. That's why they got rid of that whole suit idea because it makes no sense for him to merge into the shadows. Oh God. Red flags. Just red flags on this. Now, the Flash. Um, this is another red flag to me. However, this is not as big as all the others. One of the things is we're hearing that it's being delayed. They're not putting out a specificness about it, but it's being delayed. And here's the thing. I'm thinking it's mostly because of the script. I think it's the script. And I don't think that it's the fact that people are headbutting. I think it's the fact that Andy Muschicelli, who's doing the script with the writers, with I think Cynthia Hodgson. So I think that Cynthia Hodgson and Andy Muschicelli, they're trying to come up with a dark story to tell about the Flash. But I think that Andy wants to make it something that is very unique that people have not seen. So I think that that's why they're having some issues. I think that there's no issues between him and the other cast. I think that the cast are going to work perfectly well together. I just think that there's a story he wants to tell that maybe Cynthia won't be able to niche down right for what he wants. And that's perfectly fine. That is more than fine. That means that they want to get down a script tight. So anybody who tells you, unless I'm sorry, no, let's scratch that. Unless it comes out there is and it's confirmed, not out there just as news, but it's confirmed that the reasoning why is they're having troubles, that there's some creative troubles, and it's confirmed, 100% confirmed. Then that's when I'll throw out red flags. Right now, this is a yellow flag. This is a yellow flag. It's a concern, but it shouldn't be that big of a concern. I think that the Flash needs to be done very properly, and also we need to do it in a way that CW has not touched. Because they've done the whole Reverse Flash storyline, and it was good. The first season of the Flash was good. No, not good. It was great. It was great. But this movie, you can't rehash the Reverse Flash. And I think that the best thing they need to do is the Rogues. I think that the best thing they need to do is the Rogues. If they do the Rogues in the first movie and give us the Rogues as a big neener towards the CW, because they could never do it. They never touched them. They barely brought them together. The original Rogues, OMG, that will be so fun. Oh man, having the Flash go against five of his most dangerous adversaries, and they all have a different, unique kit. Oh, that'd be awesome. And I think that having and getting Jai Courtney into the Rogues would be fun. You can make them dark. That's great. You could do a Gorilla Grodd story because they can barely do Gorilla Grodd on the TV show, mainly because of CGI budget. If they could do Gorilla Grodd as a dark story, as his first story, oh man, that'd be great. And make it dark. Make it very involved. Make it where it's Barry doesn't know how to defeat this dude. He can't physically take him down because Gorilla Grodd is extraordinarily strong. He doesn't want to kill him because he can just run right through him, punch right through his freaking body, and that's the end of Grodd. He can turn him into paste if he wanted to. So I want to see what they're gonna do with them. I hope that they do a lot of tricks. He does a lot of abilities and such like that. I will also love it where his mentor is Jay Garrick. It's Jay Garrick, but he's stuck. He's stuck in their universe, and they're trying to figure out what the heck's going on. That'd be great. But I want to see what they're gonna do. I don't want to throw in too many ideas out. I don't want to muddle anything up. But this is a red flag. I'm not a red flag. This is a yellow flag. This is not something that's very well concerned. A lot of us should be very happy with this. They did make an announcement of that date, like it's supposed to come out in another year and a half. But delaying it means, in my way of saying, especially they just got the director, the actors in on it. They have a writer. They're just getting down that script very neat and tight. Something that Andy is very happy with, Cynthia is very happy with, and so is Ezra. Because if they're not happy, then go back to the drawing board. And I think that Andy wants to make sure that, especially hearing what Ezra wants, he's gonna try to do it to that effect while still having the okay that this is something that he wants to do. So I think that Ezra and Andy are on the same page. They want to tell a good dark story. They don't want to tell a fluffy story. They want to tell something that is meaningful to Barry Allen as the Flash, and they want to do it right. And and I say this with the kindness of my heart. If you guys want a more tendered Flash, go to the CW. That's the Flash that you want. I want a different Flash. I want a Flash that has a much darker story, more adult, and it fits to the Barry Allen narrative. Because the only thing they've done in CW is they took a lot of Wally West Flash stories and they basically gave you that. I would say 70 to 80% of those stories that they told you on on the TV show, it's all Wally West. It's barely a Barry Allen story. The only one that is Reverse Flash or Crisis. All the rest of them were not. A good amount of them were not. It was all Wally West. Barry never dealt with Zoom. He dealt with a Reverse Flash, but never Zoom. It was all Wally West. Barry's the one that I'm sorry. Wally's the one that dealt with the Tinkerer. Wally's the one that dealt with Savitar. Barry never did. He never dealt with Savitar. It was Wally. Most of the I'm saying like almost all the villains that Barry has dealt with in those TV shows was all a Wally West storyline villain. Barry never had that many villains except the Rogues and Gorilla Grodd. So I mean, let be honest about it. Be completely honest about it because yeah, there's been three people who donned the Flash outfit. I mean, four people have done the Flash, and that's Jay Garrick, Barry Allen, Wally West, and Bart Allen. And almost every single one of those stories is a Wally West story because that's a Jeff Johns story. Almost all of them were Jeff Johns stories at once. So it's not a Barry Allen legacy. It's a Wally West legacy they're writing, and I mean it's piss poor in my personal opinion. But Grant Gustin's doing a great job. He is. He's doing a great job. I love Grant Gustin as Barry Allen Flash. He's doing everything he possibly can to make that character his own, and I will shake his hand over it. I will definitely shake his hand over it. I'm like, no, dude, you're awesome as the Flash. I see you in the same echelon as John Wesley Shipp. But I mean, but Ezra Miller should not live in the same shadow as John Wesley Shipp or as Grant Gustin. He should have his own shadow. He needs to be his own character. His version of Flash should be dark, and it's perfectly fine with that. It should be okay. Why should he have to do the same types of stories as Grant Gustin and John Wesley Shipp? That makes no sense. His Because there's a lot of stories in there that are dark, and it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Same goes for Henry Cavill. He doesn't have to live in the same shadow as a Dean Cain or Christopher Reeve or Tom Welling or Brandon Routh. He doesn't have to. Why should he? He should be having to tell his own side of the story as Superman. If you want those type of Superman stories, go watch the Tom Welling. Go watch the 1977 Superman. Go watch Brandon Routh's version. There's nothing wrong with that. But why should Henry Cavill be tied to just that narrative? That makes no sense. That's not evolution to the character. And it's called evolution. Either you evolve the character or you kill the character off. That's just the way it is. And that's why we're seeing a paradigm right now back in the comics because they're going back with nostalgia. They're going back to let's go back to the classic. I'll defeat you, Superman, or I'll defeat you, Batman, and he walk off, and the bad guy is still stuck in a trap. I don't want that cartoon. I don't want that type of cartoon storytelling. That's so linear. We've written way better stories today. Way better stories. Why are we niching ourselves down to superficial 1950s writing? It makes no sense. And you're pigeonholing characters. I'm not saying Batman story needs to be dark or anything like that. No, you could tell heartfelt stories with Batman. But his stories are meant to be very noir. They're very noir and they're very pulp fiction. They're very pulp. They're not. They're very dark. They're crime dramas. They're crime stories, and that's what Batman is. He's not. He's not a traditional superhero. He's a he is a atypical superhero. He's not this. He's not the same type of superhero as any one of them. He's a more of a crime fighter who deals with supervillains sometimes. And the Flash, his stories are dark. Same goes for Superman. You got an alien who's on a planet full of people who are squishy. He can't hold Lois the way he wants to hold Lois. He has to hold Lois a certain way. When he makes love to her, he has to be very tender, or he'll kill her. So it's one of those things that's like, what the heck? It's like, think about it, people. Think about it. Superman is, yes, he has a heart of gold. He's the blue Boy Scout, yes, but his stories should be dark. Yes, give us some tender stories here and there. But these movies should not be pigeonholed to say, no, this character should be this way and that's it. No. The story should be dark to allow the hero to shine, and that's how I always felt. That's how I always feel. And that's why I feel for Ezra Miller. He understands this character. This character has watched his mother get killed, his father got put into jail, and he finds out his greatest nemesis, the person that's been annoying him since the day he put on that damn suit, is the guy that killed his mom. And he could never defeat him. And Eobard Thawne has been a legitimate thorn in his side. He could never get rid of this dude. And you're telling me he should have heartfelt stories, something that better represents the personality of the character. No, Barry Allen he's not a happy-go-lucky character. He just stands for he has almost a Superman type of personality, but you should know his life is dark. It's dark. It's not happy. So I'm gonna leave it there. I hope that you guys enjoyed. It's one of those things I personally feel that these are the news that I've been hearing out there. There's a lot more. I'm gonna keep up with it, and I'm gonna make sure that I have some more videos for talking to. And also, I will try to get one with Hawk, and we're gonna go over a few things. And we're gonna try to make this within an hour and a half, maybe a close to 2 hours. But we're gonna go probably gonna do a tangent episode of the podcast, and about what's going on with the Batman, and what's going on with what's definitely going to be going on with J.J. Abrams and Superman, what his thoughts are, and I think his thoughts are going to be the same as mine. But I'm gonna allow him to speak his mind, because you guys got mine. I think that J.J. Abrams is the worst type of director for Superman. Make him a director for Green Lantern. That is going to be the biggest thing for him. That means that he's not confined. He can easily create the whole universe himself. You don't have to basically pigeonhole him in anything. He can have fun with the characters, have fun with that whole universe. Green Lantern is much better for him. Superman, we're gonna get Richard Donner Superman. That is a one that I will say that is an 80% fact. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get Richard Donner Superman. If J.J. Abrams has anything to do with it. That's my fear. That is my complete fear. I don't want that. And I think you all should not want that either. Let's get a different type of Superman in here. Let's bring in Christopher McQuarrie. I think Christopher McQuarrie would do a phenomenal job with it. Because I think he has the same type of understanding as Zack Snyder. Like, hey, no, let's tell it a different way. He could do action. He could do the story very well, and he won't pigeonhole himself. He'd be like, nah, hey, I have respect for the Richard Donner version, but no, I think I got one that I know that would work a lot better. So, like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe down below. Hit the bell. I will try to get as many videos out. I will try to talk to Hawk today, see if we can try to jump on and do a quick podcast. If he's going to be busy today, then I'm going to be all over Fallen Order. I want to basically clean up a lot of things on that game and then get to the end game of it. So, thank you for joining me. You guys have a great one. Bye.